Hey guys, how you doing? This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and we have some breaking news here. Jeffrey Epstein has died by suicide. This is big news. It's literally all over Twitter. It's all over the world. Jeffrey Epstein has died by suicide. Jailed multimillionaire financier and accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein has died by suicide. Two law enforcement sources said Saturday, a day after a court unsealed new details of the claims against him. The Federal Bureau of Prisons confirmed Epstein's death, saying he was found unresponsive in his cell at New York's Metropolitan Correctional Center around 6:30 a.m. This is breaking news. This is big news. This is news that is trending literally everywhere right now. That's why we have to bring it to you guys first. Staff started life-saving measures as Epstein was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead, the Bureau said in a news release. No foul play is suspected in his death, a federal official told CNN. The Bureau's release called it an apparent suicide. Authorities believe Epstein hanged himself, one of the law enforcement sources said. Epstein had been jailed since early July when he pleaded not guilty to charges by New York federal prosecutors after an indictment accused him of sex trafficking dozens of underage girls, some as young as 14 years old. News of Epstein's death came a day after hundreds of pages of court documents were unsealed in New York federal court, alleging new details of sexual abuse, claims against Epstein, and several associates. A spokeswoman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Manhattan, which was prosecuting Epstein, declined to comment on Saturday. An attorney for Epstein, Reed Wingarden, didn't immediately respond to a request for comment. He was put on suicide watch after July injuries. So apparently he had some injuries around his neck, so they thought he was suicidal before, and today we find out that he now has committed suicide. Just weeks ago, Epstein was placed on a suicide watch after he was found July 23rd in his Manhattan jail cell with marks on his neck. A law enforcement source and a source familiar with the incident told CNN at the time. It's not immediately clear whether he still was on suicide watch at the time he died. It was not clear in July to jail officials if the injuries Epstein sustained at the time, which were not serious, were self-inflicted or the result of an assault. The sources said Epstein told authorities he was beaten up and called a child predator, they said. So he's had a history of these issues. July indictment followed 2007 plea deal. Epstein was officially accused in part of paying girls as young as 14 to have sex with him at his Upper East Side Manhattan home and his estate in Palm Beach, Florida, between 2002 and 2005. Federal prosecutors said he used employees and associates to lure the girls to his residences and then paid some of his victims to recruit other girls for him to abuse. He was awaiting trial on charges of trafficking of minors and conspiracy to engage in sex trafficking. A federal judge in mid-July ordered Epstein to remain in jail pending trial, turning down the multimillionaire's request to return to his Upper East Side mansion under supervision. Epstein faced similar accusations in Florida in 2007, but signed a plea deal. Who gives a man like this a plea deal? Disgusting. That year, with Miami prosecutors allowing him to avoid federal charges and plead guilty to lesser state prostitution charges. The new charges renewed attention on the plea deal, spurring outrage against it and leading to the resignation of Trump administration Labor Secretary Alex Acosta, who negotiated the plea agreement when he was the U.S. attorney in Miami. Civil lawsuits could continue, so I believe they will continue. Though criminal charges won't be pursued against a deceased defendant, accusers still could file civil lawsuits seeking money from Epstein's estate. CNN legal analyst Paul Callan said, Epstein's estate, you can imagine, would be sued by a lot of potential victims, so his suicide will not end coverage and the interest in the Jeffrey Epstein case, Callan said. One such lawsuit is expected to be filed as soon as Wednesday by a woman who alleges Epstein raped her when she was 15. Wednesday is the day that New York's Child Victims Act goes into effect, giving adult survivors of child sexual abuse 1 year to sue an abuser for offenses in New York, no matter how long ago the abuse took place. The accuser in that pending lawsuit, Jennifer Arrows, said yesterday that she is angry Jeffrey Epstein won't have to face his survivors of his abuse in court. We have to live with the scars of his actions for the rest of our lives, while he will never face the consequences of the crimes he committed, the pain and trauma he caused so many people, she said in a prepared statement. Jeffrey Epstein is gone, but justice must still be served. I hope the authorities will pursue and prosecute his accomplices and enablers. Now, this is the real thing. Who are his rich, high net worth friends that will also be announced in this? This is going to be very big. We've heard of big names like the Clintons, like big names. So stay tuned for that. I don't think this is done by any stretch of the imagination. Robbie Kaplan, an attorney for an accuser in the criminal case, said Saturday that the many victims of Jeffrey Epstein and his accomplices should not lose hope. We will continue to fight tirelessly on their behalf, not only to seek justice, but also to ensure that all of the facts of this monstrous crimes become known to the world, he said. We need to expose the whole truth here so that crimes of this scale and scope never happen to any young girls or boys ever again. Wow. That's the breaking news. Jeffrey Epstein, multimillionaire, some say billionaire, had his own island. They call it Pedophile Island, where him and all of his really rich, famous, popular, powerful friends would go and commit these terrible crimes. And my prediction is that you're going to find out some really big names that are associated to this that are just going to shock the world. So Jeffrey Epstein, it's the big news today, apparently hung himself, has apparently committed suicide, and is apparently dead. This is the breaking news. And here in Rich TV Live, we like to bring in the news. We like to break it down, and we like to make sure you know the news first. Love to know what you guys think about this. I really didn't want to talk about it, but it is breaking news, and I thought we'd bring it to you guys first here on YouTube. So Jeffrey Epstein, gone. What happens now? Love to know your opinion on this. Comment down below. If you like the video, smash the like button. Share the video everywhere. Have a great weekend. This is your boy Rich from Rich TV Live. If you're not winning, you're not watching. We bring in the news. We bring in the entertainment. We break it down. We analyze it, and we try to bring it to you first. This is some of the biggest news of the day. Jeffrey Epstein, suicide. Everyone's talking about it, but I really don't want to talk about it anymore. So have a nice weekend. Jeffrey Epstein, gone. Apparently hung himself in his cell. It's the breaking news today. If there's anything else that's big, that's breaking, any other news that I want to go live with, or anything that I think is trending, I'll let you know. Other than that, have a great weekend. This is Rich from Rich TV Live, and I'm out. Peace.